Hey everyone, it's Andrew. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a video doing a 9-month follow-up on the Bodum Bistro Burr coffee grinder, which is this coffee grinder right here. For those of you that are not familiar with my channel, I did a unboxing and review of this coffee grinder about 9 months ago when I purchased this as a way to grind coffee quicker as compared to using my hand grinder, which is the Zassenhaus grinder. And at that time, I promised I would do a follow-up video discussing the overall performance and kind of my general use of the Bodum Bistro grinder. And so what we'll do in this video is I'll discuss the general features of the Bodum Bistro. We'll discuss its kind of pluses and drawbacks and kind of its overall utility. Then what I'm going to do is walk through grinding several different coarseness of coffee grinds using this to give you an idea of the full extent of its capacity and range of grinding. And then lastly, at the end of the video, what we're going to do is we're going to make some French press coffee using the Timemore Black Mirror scale, just because I got that scale recently and I'm in the mood for French press, and this will be my first time making French press with the scale, so I wanted to share that experience with you all online. Okay, so this is the Bodum Bistro Burr coffee grinder. This is a coffee grinder that you can easily find in many stores like Walmart, Target, and on Amazon. Usually it's priced about $19 to $20 depending on where you get it from. This obviously is the black color, but it does come in several color varieties, including I believe white and tan, and I think they have a red, but I'm not entirely sure. Usually it's only the black one or the white one that's stocked in the stores. If you want to find a different color, you'll probably have to pick online and you'll have to track it down. But this is something that I just randomly picked up from Target one day, really because I regularly use the Zassenhaus hand grinder. And what I found was when I'm busy and don't have the time to hand grind coffee, I wanted to pick up something like this just to grind the coffee quicker so I can do it on the fly and kind of use fresh whole beans that are freshly ground on a regular basis. So that's why I got this coffee grinder, really on the fly, 20 bucks, just to get a general sense of whether I'd want to use it. So over the past year, I've been using this pretty consistently, where whenever I'm busy, I kind of just make it in here. It takes about 30 seconds to a minute to grind it, and it's much quicker than the Zassenhaus. However, overall the quality of the grind and the control of the grind is definitely inferior, so there's drawbacks regarding that. As far as the overall design, it shows the Bodum label on the side. There's some grooves on one side, and then very similarly, virtually identical Bodum labeling on the one side with some grooves. So if you grip this, you've got some grip on it, but really it should be flush on the table if you're ever using it. The design in the inside is going to be basically your classic burr grinder. I'm not sure if you can see it, it's pretty dark in there, but basically there's a burr that just spins around and cuts up the grinds, and that's really the functionality. And then when you put the lid on, it's going to be this clear plastic lid that there's going to be a slot here where essentially you just slide it on top, and then when you press this red area here, it'll actually turn on the grinder. And so if you look, it'll turn it on, and whenever you let go, it'll turn off. As far as control of the grind, really you have no control over setting a coarseness or fineness for the grind. Really it's dependent on how long you grind the coffee for, so you lose that ability to control it. Really what you can do is just look in the window, kind of get a general sense of how the grind or the coarseness is, and then you can stop whenever you want to do that. What I will do is I'll walk through grinding so you can get a general sense on the timing related to how you can get with this. Kind of pluses and drawbacks, I spoke to the lack of control for the grinding. The other thing I noticed is that for darker roasts that have more of an oily consistency or roast, what you'll find is after grinding it, you'll get some more residue for those types of grinds on the bottom of the container. I have not noticed that for blonde or medium roasts, but it's something definitely prominent with the darker roasts. And so the main thing you want to do is make sure you pick up up like a coffee brush or an espresso brush and use that to clean this out. That minimizes any residue on the inside of this. Additionally, it makes sure that you remove all the coffee grinds that you actually just ground. But definitely get an espresso brush. I use this all the time with my hand grinder or this grinder. It's very convenient to have. It's nice to just be able to reach in there, basically clean it out on a regular basis. The only other thing I've noticed is additionally beyond that is that if you do grind this for a longer period of time, it will heat up the grinds to a certain extent. So you do have to be cautious with grinding too long, because you could potentially warm up or heat the grinds and cause it might impair the quality of the brew. Beyond that, that's really it. There's a cable with it that's about 3-4 foot long, so you do have to strap it to the wall, but that's the Bodum Bistro. What we'll do now is I'll just walk through grinding about 6 tablespoons of coffee. Okay, so as far as making French press today, we're gonna make about 60 grams of coffee. So we'll do about 6 scoops and see the weight after that when we do it. But basically what you do is you just scoop it in here. We're gonna do 6 tablespoons, give or take. Any leftover I'll just kind of use or set aside for another time. That's 4, and then this is 5, and then this is 6. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to grind this and give you a general sense of the coarseness. I have found that this coffee grinder does perform a little bit better if you fill it up more. If you leave less grinds or less coffee beans in it, it just doesn't grind as well. So if you fill it up, it does perform a little bit better. And now what we're going to do is just grind this for about 15 seconds to give you an idea of how it performs after 15 seconds. So here we go. Okay, so sorry, there's going to be coffee all over, but hopefully you can see this. So this is the consistency after 15 seconds, a little bit of a coarse grind, something that's useful for French press. Obviously, if I was making French press exclusively without doing this video, I'd probably stop here and pour this into the French press. But for the purposes of this video, I want to show the full extent of the grinding capacity. So it won't be the best French press, but what we'll do now is we'll add another 5 seconds to give you a general sense of how that performs. So real quick, and as demonstrated, this can spill, so as you want to put it in an area that you want, or you can kind of bang it on the side like this and that kind of taps it down. But this is what it looks like after about 5 more seconds. All right, and then we'll do another 5 seconds. Okay, and tap that, and it gets off the walls. And so this is the 5 seconds more. It's pretty fine. What you'll find is after this, it doesn't really get too much finer. So we'll do about 10 more seconds to just give you a full extent of how fine this can become. Okay. So that's 10 seconds. One thing I did want to mention is that if you can see through here, sometimes what happens is you get buildup on the sides. If you find that happening, what you'll want to do is just tap this, get it flush all the way down, and then you can grind it again. Okay, and just make sure that the whole grinds are all the way ground. So that's really the extent of how fine a grind you can get. So this is after doing about 20 to 30 seconds. And so if you look here, you are starting to get that oily buildup, so that's why you're getting a chunkiness right there. That's because you ground it too long. And so be careful with over grinding, but you'll find that that's the extent of the fineness. Like my Zassenhaus grinder, which is right here, this thing you can control a lot more, where you can raise and lower it so you can get a better fineness and control with it. So I'm very used to using the Zassenhaus, and I love the control with it. But with the Bodum Bistro, you just can't get that sense of control. And so what we'll do is we'll just pour this out into a container, just because we're making the French press. And so we'll pour it out, tap, and what you'll see is, as you can tell, this is exactly what I was saying. So if you do a little bit of a longer grind, what happens is you get it built up on the edges here, and it's slightly warm, so it's like kind of heating up the oil. So you want to use the Expresso Brush and just wipe it out that way. And you want to do that on a regular basis, just so you don't have any buildup into your coffee grinder over long term. I think that'll prevent it from being damaged, plus it keeps it cleaner, neater, more organized. So that's kind of what it does as far as performing. That's what it looks like after the brush. Sorry, there's some residue. It's just hard to see on camera at this angle. And so And this is what the grind looks like in the actual container. So this is something that you could use for pour over. Definitely would be successful. You'll get a decent quality cup, a cup or brew out of it, but it's not as fine compared to like the Zassenhaus, and you don't have as much control. I'll use this for French press now, just to give you a general sense of how we're going to do French press. But this is what the Bodum Bistro can do itself. Real quick, we'll make some French press coffee. Okay, so here's my at-home coffee station that has everything I usually use for coffee. So as far as making French press, you'll need the actual coffee. We already ground that. You will need the French press maker. This is going to be the Bodum Kenya French press maker. It's very similar price to the Bodum Bistro coffee grinder, around $20 for this, and you can easily find it at Walmart, Target, on Amazon. I'll leave a link if you're interested in purchasing it. So that's that. Then you will need the Timemore Black Mirror Plus scale. You don't really need a scale for the purposes of this though. This is my first time making French press using this scale, so I wanted to post this online just for documentation and the fact that I really love this scale. I recently did a review on this, so you can check that out if you're interested. Beyond that, that's really all you'll need. You'll definitely need water. I have a kettle that I already heated up to 205 degrees, so that's already all set. So as far as the Black Mirror Plus coffee scale, what you're just going to do is you're going to turn it on. There's a switch right here. It'll automatically turn on. All right. It'll be zeroed. What you'll do is you'll take the lid off of the French press, set it aside right now, and then you'll put the French press directly on the scale. So it's going to weigh 453.4 grams. You're going to hit the power button here, which will tear that and bring the weight down to 0, essentially compensating for the weight of the French press. And now what we're going to do is we are going to add the coffee grinds that we just did. For this coffee, we're going to be making 60 grams, or we'll need 60 grams of coffee, okay? That's going to be a ratio of 1 gram coffee per 12 grams of water. So it's a 1 to 12 ratio. That's the usual recommendation for French press. And so we're going to pile this on until it says 60 grams. I did have to grind a little bit more than the 6 scoops in order to do that, so I did that off camera between the prior aspect of this video and now. Once we're at 60, we will, sorry, I just don't want to over pour it. All right, so almost there. So we're at 59.8, 60 point, there, exactly 60.0 grams. Okay, so now we're at 60.0 grams. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our kettle. You don't need a gooseneck kettle, but this is the gooseneck kettle I always use. You're going to hit the power or the start button for the timer on the left hand side, which is going to be here. This scale has an auto start feature where once you touch it, it'll do a countdown like this, 3, 2, 1, and then it'll set the scale back to 0. All right, and immediately whenever you add weight, it'll automatically turn on the timer. So as you can tell, now the timer's starting here. And now what you can do is you can just pour the quantity of water till you reach what you need, which, one sec, I wrote it down, but I forgot what it was. And that's gonna be, I think it's we'll need 700 grams of water. So for this, real quick, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna wet all the grinds here, which is good right there. We're gonna wait about 30 seconds. So right now it's at 30 seconds. We're gonna wait to a minute. This is just allowing it to bloom in the container, so that when you add the more water, you kind of get rid of the CO2 and the whole coffee is starting to bloom. All right, and so we're at a minute. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna evenly pour this throughout the entirety of the French press until we hit 700 grams, all right? So this isn't as important as compared to like when you make pour over coffee. The pour doesn't really matter. Really, you just wanna get the water in there, make sure that all the grinds are set. And because I was distracted, I over poured a little bit, so we're at 708.2, so we're slightly over, but ideally you would want 700 even, and that's the value of the scale, is that it measures it to 0.1. Now what you're going to do is you're going to wait 6 minutes. So while on camera, I'm just going to let this run, but we're going to speed this up so you don't have to wait, but you're going to wait 6 minutes, and we'll come back to this when it's set. Okay, so it's been 6 minutes. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a spoon, and what you'll notice with French press is that it's gonna have this crustiness on the top, and basically you're just gonna break that crust of where the grinds are on the top, and you're gonna just scoop it a little bit, and that allows all of the grinds that were floating on the top to reach the bottom, okay? And now you're gonna wait an additional 2 minutes. The one thing with the Timemore, with the auto function, is what you'll find is, as you can tell here, is once you let it sit for a little period of time and lift it up, or like I just did, it'll kind of act as if the brew stopped working or was done, and so it'll list the overall time and the overall quantity. All you have to do is basically turn it on, off, and then it'll automatically tare again. But you can just hit the timer and turn on the timer. So we'll let this sit for 1 minute and 50 seconds, and then we'll be done with brewing this. All right, given I forgot to restart it earlier, we're all set, or that's about 2 minutes. And so now what you'll do, at least for French press, you can take it off the scale at this point. But basically you'll just put the plunger in. For this Kenya one, there's an opening on one side. Kind of put that on the end towards the opening where the spout is. And then what you'll do is you won't plunge all the way, you're just gonna plunge slightly, just to get it beyond kind of the top of the fluid, and then you're gonna leave it like that. If you plunge all the way, it's gonna kind of just squeeze the coffee and you'll have issues. Really, you're just gonna use the strainer to pour it out and keep it that way until you're done brewing. And then really all you have to do is just pour it into a cup. And so this is the Yeti mug, the 10-ounce stackable mug. I recently did a review on this, but this is my go-to coffee mug, including the 14-ounce. And that's what it looks like for pour over coffee French press coffee. So that's the French press with the Bodum Kenya. I'm using grinds from the Bodum Bistro. So hopefully this video was helpful for the Bodum Bistro. I'll say that compared to the Zassenhaus grinder, you have lack of control as far as the grind control, and it's not as fine or essentially controlled compared to the Zassenhaus. The other drawbacks to this is that it does have some residue for oilier coffee like your dark roast, and then it does heat up the grinds a little bit as you're using it, if you're using it for a prolonged period of time. The benefit though is with grinding this, it really takes only 30 seconds compared to upwards of a minute or longer with the Zassenhaus, depending on how you're grinding it. But this is a convenient, cheap, easy way to grind coffee. You get freshly ground coffee from whole beans if you want to do it at home. So for $20, this is available on Amazon, Target, Walmart, anything like that. I'll leave links in the description below for all these products, so if you're interested in purchasing any of them, you can check them out. I've pretty much done reviews on all of them at some point, so you can check those out as well. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this 9-month follow-up has been helpful, and if you have questions, comments, post them below. Otherwise, if you like this video, hit the like button, and as always, if you can subscribe to my channel, I'll always appreciate it.